Hello everybody, my name's Dee from Wellingborough Library, and for our Silly Squad activity today for the Summer Reading Challenge, we're going to be making microwave cupcakes and decorating them. So this is what you're going to need. You are going to need some self-raising flour, some caster sugar, some butter or margarine and an egg. Okay, so I've just got the one egg here. You're also going to need a bowl for mixing in, a couple of small bowls, a wooden spoon for mixing, small spoon, a big spoon and a fork. Okay, I've got several of each here. Now make sure that before you start you've cleaned your work surface and you've washed your hands really well. I've also put an apron on to protect my clothes, but that's optional, you don't have to do that. Right, so to start with, we're going to take our caster sugar. Okay, and we are going to have on here 2 heaped tablespoons of caster sugar. So this is my tablespoon, and I'm going to have 2 heaped ones, about like this, okay, and pop them into your bowl. Okay, in they go. That's lovely. And next we're going to be using our butter. Now for this we just want 1 heaped tablespoon. So just scoop it out, okay, and you've got about a heaped tablespoon there. Okay, push it off into your bowl. And then you're going to use a wooden spoon to mix it together. So give it a good stir round. You want to mix all that sugar in with the butter. Keep going round and round until it's all nice and fluffy. So it will take a few minutes, don't worry about it. Mix it round and round. You don't want to see any of that sugar on its own there. Give it a good mix. Can you see that's going all nice and light and fluffy now? It's joined together and it's all light and fluffy. Beautiful. Now we're going to take one of our small bowls and you're going to crack your egg into it. Okay, there's several ways to crack your egg. You can use a little spoon and you can give it a bang. Or if you want to, you can bang it on the edge of the table or the edge of the bowl. Okay, I'm going to show you using the spoon. So give it a little tap, separate the 2 halves and tip it into your bowl. Okay, the eggshells can go into the bin there. And then taking a fork, you're going to beat your egg up, mix it all together until it looks just like a yellow mixture like that. Okay, give it a good mix. You don't want to see any of the white there on its own. That's lovely. I'm just going to leave that there ready. Okay. Now next we're going to take our self-raising flour. And again for this we need 2 heaped tablespoons of the self-raising flour. Now some people prefer to put this straight into the bowl, some prefer to put it into a small bowl first in case they get too much on the spoon. So I'll pop it into mine. So that's 1, 2 heaped tablespoons of our self-raising flour. Okay, and we're going to tip that into the bowl. Now with your egg mixture, this is quite tricky, okay, but you're going to have 2 tablespoons of your beaten egg. So again, hold it over your bowl in case it all comes out in one go, and tip it onto your spoon till your spoon's full, and then into the bowl. Then again, so you've got your 2 tablespoons, okay, into the bowl. And then you can tip that in as well. Give it a little spread to get it all in there. Okay. Then you're going to mix it all together. Stir it round. We're going to combine that sugar and butter mixture, the flour and the egg until it's all mixed together. So, keep going there. If it gets stuck onto the back of your spoon like that, just take another spoon and push it off. Okay, because you don't have a great big buttery blob in there, you do want it all mixed in, and then give it another stir. Okay. And there is your cake mixture. Can you see that in there? It's nicely mixed. Look, it's nice and light and fluffy. Lovely. Okay, so next we're going to take 2 mugs. Make sure that they are microwavable mugs, okay? Make sure that it's not one that you can't put in the microwave with any gold rim or anything like that. So just an ordinary mug, and you'll need 2 cupcake cases. Okay, you want to put 1 cupcake case into the bottom of each mug. Just like that. Okay, and we're going to separate this mixture and put half into each mug. So just spoon it in there. Drop it into the cake case there. Don't worry if it touches the side of the mug, it doesn't matter. It's going to cook in there anyway. Okay, just separate that a little bit. Scrape it off and into that cake case in the bottom of the mug. In it goes until you've used all the mixture. Okay, in it goes. So that's that in the bottom there. Okay, one in each mug. Next we're going to take them to the microwave. So if you gather all your things that have been used and pop them into your bowl. Okay, and then they will be ready to be washed. Make our area nice and tidy, and then we're going to pop this into the microwave. Okay, over we go. Pop them in the microwave. And then this is an 800 watt microwave, and you need to put it on for 1.5 minutes. Now mine's a dial microwave, so it's not really very good at doing an exact time, so I'm going to set the time on my phone, and it does need to be on high. So make sure it's turned to high, pop it on 1.5 minutes. Okay, we'll wait for it to cook. Right, we're back again. These have been in the microwave for 1.5 minutes, and then if you'd like to have a look, you can see that they're cooked and they are springy to the touch. Do be careful when you take them out of the microwave, because sometimes your mug handles do get hot, so you might want to get a grown-up to check that for you. So what we need to do now is to let these cool, but they are stuck a little bit onto the mug, so take a little dinner knife and just slide it round the outside like that, okay, and then you can tip it out, okay, and leave it to cool. And there's one. A little bit messy there on the table, but that doesn't matter, we can wipe that up. And oh, that one's not quite cooked. Yeah, it is cooked, it's just come away from the wrapper a little bit. So I'm going to clean this up, that mess there. Pop that to one side, I'll wipe my table. Now, while we're waiting for those to cool, okay, we're going to make some icing. Okay, so I'm going to need to get my bowl. So onto the icing now. While these are cooling, we'll get the icing made and then we can decorate them as soon as they're cool enough. We're going to make some butter icing. So again, you're going to need some butter and some icing sugar and some food colouring. Now you can either use liquid food colouring like this or a gel food colouring. It really doesn't matter, it's up to you, whatever you've got at home is good. I think I'll go with this liquid one. Okay, to start with, you're going to need a scoop of butter. So you only need about a teaspoon of butter, like that. Push it into your bowl. Okay. And then the icing sugar. Okay, let's open this new box up. Ooh, I hope it doesn't get everywhere. I'm quite good at getting it everywhere when I open these boxes. There we go. And we're going to tip a little bit in. Now you can use a spoon if you want, or you can tip it straight in. So we're going to add it a little bit at a time. So I'll start with just 1 tablespoon like that, and a tiny drop of the food colouring. Now it's up to you how much food colouring you put it in, but just don't forget, if you put too much in, it will be really runny, and if you put too little in, it won't really have any colour. And then we're going to mix it around. We want to combine that icing sugar with the butter. Okay, let's mix it round and round there. Keep going until it's all mixed. Okay, so we're going to need a little bit more icing sugar in there. So you can see it is mixing, but it still feels like butter and not like buttercream icing. So we're going to add another spoonful of icing sugar and mix again. It's a nice bright colour though, isn't it? I think this will be quite an unusual cupcake once it's been iced. Lovely, look, that's getting better. And it's still a little bit thin, so I think I'll add just half a spoonful more. Mix that in. Keep going. You don't want it all white and lumpy like this. You do want to have all of that icing sugar mixed and blended in with the butter until it's a really nice, smooth, creamy consistency. That's lovely. I'm going to push it just off the edge there, so make sure it's all mixed in. You haven't got a big blob of food colouring or butter there stuck to the spoon or anything. And give it one more mix. There, can you see that? That's a lovely smooth consistency. If you do use your finger and dip it in, have a taste. Very nice. Now I need to wash my hands. Excuse me a moment. So that's butter icing if you want to make it like that. The other option is that you can make just plain water icing. Okay, so for this, again, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of our icing sugar to a small bowl. Okay, this time I'm going to use a little bit of the gel food colouring, just because I've got it and you can see what it's like. This is a red one. Give it a shake, because sometimes it can go a little bit runny while it's in there. And give it a little squeeze into there. Ooh. This one doesn't want to come out. Bear with me. Have we got some scissors here? Yes. This one's got a sealed end, so I'm going to cut the end off. Lovely. And pop a little bit of the gel in there. Lovely. And then with your teaspoon, you want to just put in about half a teaspoon of water to start with. Okay, and give it a stir. Now you want this icing sugar to mix in with the water, but you don't want it to be really, really runny, or else it's all going to run off your cake. So just add the water a tiny little bit at a time. It's just plain cold water from the tap until it's a nice consistency. If you do happen to put a little bit too much in with your water, don't worry, because all you need to do is to get a little bit more icing sugar and pop it in the bowl like that and mix that in, and it'll thicken it up a bit for you. So that's mixing together nicely, and you want it to look a nice gold colour again. So can you see, there's my icing there. It's probably a little bit thick. I might add a tiny drop more water there, a teeny tiny drop. There we go. A little bit thick. And then I can spread it, but it's not going to run off. There we go. Can you see that? So it's quite thick, and you'll be able to spread it onto your cake and it won't run off, and we can still decorate it. Now these still feel a little bit hot, so while they're cooling down, I'll show you how to make some eyes for on your cupcakes. If you want to make them into monsters, you can make little eyes by taking some cocktail sticks. Okay, so I'll just take 4 there, and you'll want some paper, some scissors, some glue and a marker. Draw your eyes onto your paper. Okay. Draw my 4 eyes there. You can be a little bit more careful than this. I'm not being very careful here. And then fold your paper in half, and you want to cut out 2 for each one. So I'm cutting it so that I've got one with the eye drawn on it and a blank one at the back. Okay. So you end up with 2 like that. One's got an eye on it and one's blank. On the blank one, just rub a tiny bit of glue like that. Pop your cocktail stick on it and stick the eye back on top so that you're joining them together. Oops, no glue on there, I don't think. There we go. And you want to do 4 of those, and you make some nice eyes. Look, you can stick that into your icing on your cupcake. So that's 1. Let's cut the others out. We'll make these, and then we'll get on with icing our cakes because they should be cool enough by then. So to decorating the cupcakes, I'm going to decorate one with butter icing and one with the water icing. Let's start with the butter icing. So you take a little scoop of your butter icing and pop it on top of your cake, okay, and smooth it around. Now you can put as little or as much of this on as you like, and there's several things you can do with it. You can use your knife and just make it go into little spikes so it looks a bit like a monster. You can smooth it, you can use a fork to do that if you want. And then I've got various things here that we're going to use to decorate it. So I've got some silver balls here. some glitter sprinkles, some coloured balls, some more coloured balls there. These are little dots with sprinkles on them, chocolate dots with sprinkles on, and I've got some curly whirly swirlies. Whatever you've got in the cupboard is fine. I'm going to try and make mine look a bit like a monster. So I'm going to give him a couple of these as spiky horns, I think. I'm going to stick my eyes in. There's one eye. Ooh, yeah, that looks nice, doesn't it? And there's another eye. Okay, and then I think for this one he's going to have some coloured dots on him so that he looks like he's got coloured spots all over. Ooh, these are lots of different colours, these. Let's see if I can get a mixture of colours on there. See if we can get some of those blue ones out as well. How about that? Shall we give him a little jazzy nose as well? Let's give him one of these as a nose, look. Ooh, there you go. And that's one cupcake decorated. Okay, now that it's nice and cool, that'll be lovely to eat. We're going to decorate the other one with some of this water icing. So I need another knife here. Again, we're going to pop some of the icing on. Okay. So this is a nice colour, isn't it? Certainly bright coloured cupcakes, these ones. You can do any colour you want. I just happen to have this orange and this red at home, so I thought that they'd be quite nice for those. Again, spread it on. You can let this run over the edge if you want. It's up to you. It just depends how runny that icing is. That's lovely. I'm going to leave that on there like that. And what should we do for this one? Should we give him some silver dots, this one? Stick a few onto my hand. Give him a few silver balls there. And some of these lovely sprinkles, I think. Ooh, look at those, they're pretty, aren't they? And I think I'm going to give this one a big long trunk and some ears. It's going to have some jazzy ears. It's going to look a bit like an elephant, this one, I think. Oops, drop that one in there. And let's give him some eyes. He needs some eyes, doesn't he? Ooh, that fell off. There we go. Drop it back on. 1, 2, and should we put anything else on there? Let's give him a couple of these colour balls as well. Why not? Bit of everything there. Yeah. And that's lovely. So, there's a couple of lovely cupcakes, decorated and all ready to eat. Yum. I hope you enjoyed them. Make yours however you like. It doesn't matter what you make them like. They can be any colour. They can have any sort of decoration on the top. We will add this recipe in the comments so that you can see the amount of the ingredients that you need. And please, if you make some, take some pictures of your creations and put them on our Facebook, and we would love to see them. Thanks very much. Do you want to have a bite? Yeah? So which one shall I eat? This one. Okay, let's see. I'm going to have a little bite. Okay, I'm going to take the flapper down and... Delicious.